2024 has arrived. Are you curious about what fashion, beauty, and hair trends will be in for this year? Then stay tuned. Welcome to the Dress with Purpose podcast. My name is Amanda Hall and I am your personal stylist. And today we are going to talk all things trends for 2024. We're going to cover the color of the year, fashion, hair, makeup. So let's get right into it. The 2024 color of the year is peach fuzz. Now, I don't know what kind of image that inspires in you, but the Pantone Institute, who decides the colors for fashion, picked peach fuzz for this year. It's very soft and subtle and romantic. So you will start to see a lot of this particular color showing up in all different places, from fashion to decor to wall colors. You're gonna see it all over the place. Now, there are some colors that complement it or that go along for the 2024 fashion year as well. So let's take a look at the fashion colors for spring and summer of 2024. So the 2024 spring summer palette has its own color this year, and you will see these colors also carrying into fall and winter for 2024 as well. So the first color we're going to talk about is this color Capri. It is kind of a turquoisey blue. You're going to find this. It was all over the runways for the spring and summer, which most of these colors you will find sprinkled throughout the runways of spring summer 2024. So we have Capri, which is a turquoise color. We have Mint, which is a very vibrant green color. We have Lemon Drop, which is that vibrant yellow color. I think of a lemon drop. I don't know if you've ever had, those yellow lemon drops that you can buy that have the sugar on them. That's kind of the color to think about. Then we have Marlin, which is kind of that deeper blue that you see on the coastal. You're going to see that in a lot of coastal colors. Then you have your pastel lilac. And if you didn't see any of the fashion from the Golden Globes, I'm going to put up a picture of Helen Mirren, and she rocked this color trend of pastel lilac. Then we have chambray blue, which obviously jeans are a chambray color, but you're going to see that softer blue color throughout the clothing for summer, for spring and summer. Then we have desert flower, which is a peachier, a little bit deeper tone than the peach fuzz, kind of leaning orange, kind of balancing between the soft peach and a dark peach. So that is desert flower. Then we move into watercress, which is a warmer green color. Then we have orangeade, which, as you can tell, is very orange. And then we have this almost brick red color called robust tea. So that will be the color palette that you will see complement peach fuzz all through fashion for 2024. So Pantone also puts out a neutral color palette for each year. And this year's neutrals are brush, which is a warmer tan color. Then you have quiet shade, which is a darker gray. Then you have northern droplet, which is a grayish green color. Then you have mushroom, which is going to cover your taupes. And then finally, last but not least, brilliant white. Now it looks purple here, but think brilliant paper white is what you're going to see as a neutral color for this year. So the neutral palette and the spring and summer palette and the color of the year will all blend together into a cohesive, coordinating wardrobe for 2024. Before we start talking about spring and summer, since most of us are still in the depths of winter, let's talk about the carryovers from the 2023 fall and winter lines and what you can still plan on seeing fashion-wise. You've got number one is oversized coats. You're gonna see those big oversized trenches and wool coats. Those are here to stay. Then you have your statement cardigans. Bright colors, different textures. They're very statement. And I think that is probably going to be a good word for a lot of the trends this year is statement. They are going to make a statement. The colors may not, but the clothing and the makeup and the trends are going to be statements. You're going to see the puffer and quilted jacket trend continue. The two-piece sets, spoiler alert, are not going away anytime in 2024. However, we're going to see a slight variation from the athleisure wear. Then you're going to continue to see, not only in winter, but beyond, metallics. All right, let's tackle the 2024 spring and summer fashion. Now, I don't know about you, but we are in the depths of winter here, and so to think about spring and summer fashion is a little bit out of the box for me. But the spring and summer runway shows have already happened. The trends are out. I went through and combed through all the research and all the articles and looked at the runway shows and really checked out what was going to be big for 2024 spring and summer. And in this podcast, I'm just going to give you the top 5 in every category. If you want a more in-depth on the fashion and accessory trends for 2024, then check out my Fashion Friday video. If you want a more in-depth on the makeup trends and the hair and beauty trends for 2024, check out my Makeup Mondays where we'll go in-depth on all of those trends. So let's talk the top 5 for fashion for spring summer. Number 1, you're going to see a ton of white dresses, as that is one of the neutrals for this year. You are going to see a ton of white dresses, maxi and midi lengths. You will see some shorter lengths as well, but most of what the resort and more ready to wear is showing is white dresses in a midi to maxi length. Number 2, a trend from last year that is carrying over is elevated basics. You're going to see that neutral color palette, and you're going to see the basics of a classic wardrobe get just a little bit more elevated, whether it is adding a more detailed blazer or a cardigan or a statement piece that's going to take that casual basic and take it to the next level. Number 3 trend is preppy. Now, we're not talking the Y2K preppy clothing. We're talking more of an elevated preppy with a little bit of edge and rocking more towards the Ivy League preppy look. And on that note, quiet luxury is not going anywhere for the spring and summer seasons as well. Like I told you in the winter trends, two-piece sets are not going anywhere. But what we did see on the runways were suited two-piece sets. Jacket blazer, jacket shorts. We were seeing a lot of suiting sets walk down the runways. Now, will that actively apply into real day, real life? Yes. So you'll see those two-piece sets with longer shorts and a lightweight jacket. You're going to see them in linen. You're going to see them in suiting material. It's going to be more of that suiting corporate type of look for the spring and summer. Then number 5 is floral. Now,
Well, they're showing a lot of florals right now, so I was thinking I could
Florals
do a shoot.
for spring. Groundbreaking.
Now we're talking about 3D florals, bright florals. As you will see by the images that are being shown, some of this is more for the fashion world and some of it is more for everyday wear. You're going to see lots of floral patterns, small intricate ones, as well as more abstract, watercolor type florals. So be on the lookout for florals for spring and summer. So that is my top 5 trends for the fashion for spring and summer 2024. All right, so let's talk about our feet and the fashion that you will be seeing in footwear. So number 1, the trend of the flat is not going away from winter. In fact, you're still going to see the ballerina core flats, but we're also going to see more Mary Jane styles and the preppy loafer style come into play for this footwear trend. This next trend is not only a carryover from winter, but you're going to see it in multiple places, and I'm talking about metallics. You are going to still see the silver shoes. You're going to see some gold. Anything metallic, you are going to be seeing all over the place. Flats, heels, wedges, they will be gracing your feet for this spring and summer. Number 3 is mesh and netting. Now, I'm not quite sure how this is going to show up in the everyday life, but this mesh style shoe, mostly flats, but there is some pumps that you'll see that will be in this mesh type material, is going to be a trend for this spring summer. So you will see kitten heels, which if you're anything like me, you can't wear heels because you will fall over. So kitten heels are a perfect trend for this spring and summer. Now this is one trend you wouldn't really expect to see so much in spring and summer. This can tend to be a more winter fabric, but you're going to see a lot more satin shoes. Satin pumps, satin flats, satin wedges. That material is going to be all over spring and summer. It is going to give it a nice elevation to your look. And I'm super excited for what that trend might evolve into for footwear. Probably won't be the easiest to keep clean, but at least in the spring and summer, you're not dealing with as much rain or snow. So those are the top 5 that you will be seeing on people's feet for 2024. So now we're moving into territory that's one of my favorites, and that is handbags. So the number 1 trend is circular. Whether it's a sphere shape or it's more of a circle shape, that is what you're going to see a lot this spring and summer. Moving from those half moon bags to maybe a little bit fuller moon, but you're going to see a more circular handbag. So the number 2 trend is the bucket bag. So you may or may not remember the 90s, but the bucket bag was a big deal back then. And that silhouette is coming back. Now it's elevated with a little modern twist. They're a little more structured. So I'm excited to see how this bucket trend will gain traction. So number 3 is probably, in all actuality, the most impractical are these big, huge, oversized bags. Now for the everyday woman, you're gonna look more like for a shopper, maybe just a big bag that you can carry your work things in, or carry maybe to the grocery store that you want that elevated bag for. But the bags that they're showing on the runways are huge, super extra exaggerated big. I don't see that translating into the everyday world. I think we're going to find that we're going to see the shopper bag style for everyday use. So number 4 is the clutch. Now, normally we see a clutch come in for those fancy occasions. You see it for the more winter months when you're going to parties and attending things. Well, that trend is continuing, and you're going to see clutches that are envelope styles. So if you remember the 80s, that was kind of a big thing. You're going to see hard clutches and soft clutches. You're going to see kind of that. It almost nods to the 50s and 60s. You're going to see handled clutches. And so clutches are going to be big for this year. And I personally hope that they actually do get a little traction and carry on, because they're such fun pieces to add to your wardrobe. All right, so this is that one that I said is carrying over from shoes and fashion, and that is metallics. You're still going to see silver bags, gold bags, in all shapes and sizes, but the metallics are here to stay for spring and summer. All right, so we've covered fashion, shoes, handbags. Now let's tackle jewelry and other accessories. So one of the biggest trends I'm seeing for accessories in 2024 is the belt. And you're talking about just the belts that we've seen, the skinny belts. We're talking big statement belts. We're talking about the 80 low belts that you would see all over the place. You're going to see belts maybe that even cinch up higher to give more of that empire style. So statement belts are going to be a big trend for spring and summer. Now let's move into the jewelry. We are seeing a lot of imperfect earrings, meaning you have one ear that's one earring and one ear that's a different earring. So that unmatched look is going to be a big trend for 2020. I think that tends to tap into the more 90s grunge, going for something a little more mismatched, a little more edgy. All right, so like I said earlier, I think a big word for this year is statement. Statement belts, statement bags, statement clothing. We're also going to see big bangles. Big statement bangles you will see this spring and summer. Metallics, acrylics. You're just going to see a lot of big bangle bracelets. And finally, to round out the top 5 in accessories other is statement rings. Now, when I think of a statement ring, I think of the ring that Nigel was wearing in The Devil Wears Prada. That big, huge ring that he wore on his finger. We're going to see a lot of statement rings. One ring that women will be wearing that make a statement. You will find that will be the statement. If you're wearing the big bangles, you're probably not going to be wearing a big ring. There will be one piece that will be that statement piece in these accessories for you. So that will round out the top 5 for accessories other. Okay, so we've tackled all things fashion. Now let's talk about the beauty trends. And let's start off with hair. So the haircuts you are going to see for this year are the micro bob. And I saw the micro bob all over the red carpet at the Golden Globes. Many women of all ages were rocking that hairstyle. Number 2 is the kitty cut, which is kind of like last season, the butterfly cut. It is going to be longer layers that are going to frame your face, and it's going to be a very layered look. I'm not sure why they call it the kitty cut, but that's what they're calling it. Number 3 is the shaggy pixie. That messy, tousled, short pixie cut is very much a look for this year. Number 4, the curtain bangs aren't going anywhere. We are still seeing that trend continue for 2024. We are also starting to see a very dramatic side swept bang. So you'll see a lot of just very defined swept over bangs as well for 2024. Then number 5 is what I call the grunge / wolf cut. It's a very shaggy, short and long layered haircut that I'm not sure will have a long shelf life, but it definitely is having its moment for 2024. So those are your top 5 haircuts for 2024. So let's talk about hair color. So the 5 top hair colors for 2024 are the Bambi Blonde, which is that brown and soft golden blonde, highlights throughout. It's a very pretty look, and I'm excited that this is a very classy, elegant look as well. Number 2, I put these two together. They're different, but they fall in the same family, and we're talking about red. We're talking about a deep red, and we're also talking about a coppery red. You will see that hair color all over for spring and summer. I think the deeper color will go well into fall, and the copper probably will darken up a little bit for the rest of this year. Number 3, they're calling it vanilla chai. So it is a very blonde look with very minimal brownish highlights in it, but it's more prominently blonde with a little bit of brown mixed in. Number 4 is that icy platinum. You are going to start to see that be very big again. This platinum blonde bombshell look in short haircuts and long haircuts, but that icy platinum is definitely going to be here for 2024. So number 5 is smoke. It's these creamy grays that you're going to see in darker hair colors. That really does kind of look like smoke. It's kind of moody and adds just another dimension to your hair. I'm really excited about this smoky trend to see if it carries its legs on into 2025 maybe. So these are your top 5 hair colors for 2024. Okay, let's talk about the 5 top hairstyles. So we will see in trend 1, very soft, easy bends and soft waves. You'll see this a lot more in the micro bobs going into the mid-length cuts. You're going to see that soft wave and that bend going through hairstyles. If you're from Texas, you know, the higher the hair, the closer to God. So number 2 trend is volume. You're going to see volume throughout the roots. You're going to see it out on the bottom of your micro bobs or your bobs. You're just going to see a lot of voluminous hairstyles. Number 3, we're going to see velvet soft hair. Very straight and very shiny and soft looking is a style that you will see. You can achieve this through a glaze, you can achieve it through just a really great flat iron, but you're gonna see that shiny, sleek, straight hair as a style. You're also gonna see extra long hair lengths, whether that's enhanced by extensions or whether you see really long hair. You're going to see longer lengths. You're going to see longer lengths for this year. Whether they're straight or whether they're layered, that longer hair is definitely is definitely going to be a style that's going to be carried through. Then number 5, we see a lot of elevated updos over the holidays or for weddings, but you're going to see that as a big trend for this year. It's going to have more structure. It's going to be interesting shapes. There's going to be braids that are going to be in it, but the elevated updo is here to stay. So those are your top 5 hairstyles for the year. So let's tackle hair accessories. Now there's really only 2 trends that are really big right now for hair accessories, and that is headbands and bows. The headbands can be anywhere from just a plain satin headband to the extremely embellished headbands. And then what you saw showing up all over the winter style was these very delicate bows, very big bows. You're going to see that carry over well into 2024. So be on the lookout for headbands and bows for your hair. Okay, last but not least are the 5 top makeup trends. So number 1 is better than bare. So we saw a lot of skin tints, a lot of more natural looks for this last year. Well, you're gonna see that more women want a little bit more coverage, but they still want that lightweight feel, but they want more coverage. So we're gonna go slightly better than bare in this next year. You're gonna see also a little more not as dewy of looks, but maybe a little more satin, leaning towards matte, which might not be great for us dry face gals, but a satin look is very achievable for those of us who have dry skin. So be on the lookout for that better than bare look. Number 2, we are still going to see the trends of 2023 carry into 2024 with the monochromatic look. We're talking pumpkin spice, latte, strawberry. Those monochromatic colors are going to be carrying over into this year. You're going to see a lot of all pink looks or all peach looks or all brown looks. That monochromatic look, that what really does define quiet luxury in fashion, is going to be a very prominent trend in the makeup industry for this year. Number 3, ombre lips. We saw very bold ombre lips, the Coca-Cola lips from the end of 2023, and that trend is going to make its way into 2024. You're going to see darker lined lips with lighter insides. You're going to see a little more trend towards natural lip colors versus the bolder like cherry cola lip colors, but you're going to still see that nod to an ombre lip. Number 4, pops of color. You hear them talking about pops of color in your handbags or in your shoes to add pops of colors to your outfit. Well, you're going to see pops of color for your face, whether that's in a pop of color on your eyes or wearing a pop of color on your lips. You're going to see a pop of color somewhere on your beautiful face. Then number 5. We talked about a pop of color. You're going to see colorful lashes. I think towards the end of 2023, you were seeing a lot of people starting to like the brown mascara, leaning into the maroon mascara. For 2024, you're going to see a little more color coming in. You're going to see blues and purples and even greens. So you're going to see a lot of colorful lashes coming your way for 2024. So those are your top 5 makeup trends for 2024. So we covered a lot of territory today, from the 2024 color of the year through fashion and accessories and hair and makeup, the top 5 trends for each of those. So what will be your favorite of these trends for 2024? I would love to hear all about that down in the comments. I hope your 2024 is off to a great start, and we've got lots more great things happening on the Dress with Purpose podcast. So don't miss next week. We're going to start a series on what it actually means to dress with purpose. See you next week. Remember, you get to choose every day to dress with purpose.